takes a rest. Oh yeah. Sports, pop culture, wrestling too. We got it all with the very best. Tune into the filter-free podcast for the latest in entertainment news. TNA Top 10 will make you laugh with their hilarious views.
And we're back. Welcome to the WrestleMania 40 post-game preview, brought to you by the Ram Network. I'm Palmwater Dave. I'm joined with T-Weave. We're celebrating that the year-long story has finally finished, that Damian Priest cashed in Money in the Bank and is your new World Heavyweight Champion. Oh, wait. Maybe I got confused. Oh, yeah, and new. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, finally finishes his story. Had an old school feel to it. Super excited, super emotional. I came out of my seat when he won. I thought it was a really good, really good match. What do you think, T-Weave?
Yeah, I thought so too. I mean, I know there was a lot that went into it at the end there. A lot of folks came out unexpectedly, got the Undertaker out of that. So some think that's too much. I don't know. I kind of wonder if it was necessary because this storyline's been going on so long. It was going to take something big to defeat it.
Yes. I mean, he was behind the 8 ball, and every time they sent somebody out, somebody else, every time that the bloodline built a better mousetrap, Cody Rhodes' side built a better mouse. And Coach Keith Morrison is with us, and he is not happy. He is not happy at all.
We're going to have some extremes on this, I think.
Now that is how you do a blow off. Holy jeez. Holy Jesus, right? I like the old school feel where everybody came down and was happy for him, holding the new champion up. That's old school. I mean, I remember that's how it used to be when Kerry won the world title. All the locker room emptied. When Dusty won the title, the locker room emptied. Even when Rick won the title back from Harley at a Flair for the Gold, the locker room emptied. That's just how it was back then. They treated the world title changing hands like the big deal it is.
Yeah, they did. And it was, it was almost, I think the story with all of those guys coming out is like, what is Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman? What have they been doing to WWE for a while? And it's like the Undertaker and John Cena just had enough of it. They wanted to chip in to end it.
Yeah. And it made sense because Solo was the one that put Cena out, and Cena came around to try to offset Solo. And then you had the Undertaker with The Rock. I'm wondering if maybe there was another superstar that position was slotted for that didn't want to participate, or for some reason. I don't know. I'm just saying it felt like there should have been the glass should have broke, and that should have been the counter to The Rock. But I mean, Undertaker's the biggest dog in the yard, so here we are.
Right.
Heather Whitley with us. She says Cole was crying, and you can't fake that. Hell, I was on a Zoom hosting, and I'm over trying not to cry. When he gave that belt to his mama, Lord, it got all over me. I was genuinely excited, and I don't get genuinely excited like that very often. So
what do we want to talk about, Dave?
A
lot.
Tired.
Yeah, me too.
Let's talk about what we saw tonight. This match, I did not know it was going to be a Philadelphia street fight. I did not know that Bubba Ray Dudley was going to be the referee. I thought it was over. I didn't see the young lady that's with Bobby Lashley. I didn't see her break up the pin. I thought it was over early, and I'm like, wow, what was that?
Well, honestly, while I was watching this one, you know, there were a couple of good moments with Bubba Ray when he got backed into the corner and got shoved, and he put the glasses on, and that was pretty good.
BFAB, thank you.
BFAB, that's
Thank
right.
you, Coach.
But then, you know, Snoop Dogg was kind of taking my attention during this match a lot. I had a lot of notes on that.
Yeah, I didn't have the audio, so I wasn't as distracted by Snoop. It was a street fight, and I don't get real excited about street fights. You know, I think they covered for the table breaking. At least somebody thought enough to get a kendo stick and just beat the living crap out of Karrion Cross.
Mm-hmm.
Killer Cross. What do I call it? Karrion Cross?
Carry on, yeah.
I know their names, but sometimes I don't get I don't really get into their new names.
Well, especially if they change just slightly, like Malachi
Yeah.
and Alistair and that kind of thing.
And Scarlett had me distracted. What could I say?
Yeah, exactly.
But they beat him with the kendo stick while they were getting another table. I thought the whole thing it was fun. It had a little ha-ha in it. And if you like street fights, then, you know, there you go.
Yeah, I was saying, I think, you know, Snoop Dogg being on commentary kind of added a little bit to this. You know, we had this match tonight. Last night we had the ladder match with the double belts and all that. So, you know, it gets into the same kind of deal there.
Yeah.
But I thought it added something to it that I liked, having Snoop on commentary like that.
Oh yeah, I love it when Snoop shows up. If you ever really just want to laugh your ass off, go and watch Snoop do those animal videos. I mean, you can find them on TikTok. I'm sure you can find them on YouTube. Just Snoop Animal Planet, and listen to him talk about when crocodiles and it's just hilarious. And he also gimmicked the attendance for the last three numbers to be 420.
Yeah, I saw that.
Go figure. LA Knight and AJ Styles. I was a little underwhelmed with this match.
Yeah, I mean, they're both good wrestlers, but I mean, with all the other stuff going on, I don't know, this one caught my attention a whole lot. And it wasn't bad, but didn't jump out at me. LA Knight had his first WrestleMania victory.
He shows up at the Slim Jim mobile, and he goes down to ringside and he gives this woman the keys that she won the sweepstakes.
Right.
And I don't know if he told her that a relative died, but she was so underwhelmed by winning that contest.
Well, I mean, I think she probably knew beforehand. I don't know that this was just a random, they handed it to her, because
you know,
I wouldn't think she'd be on the front row if it was that way.
I mean, you put her on the front row and at WrestleMania and on camera, you think that she'd be a little excited. Maybe she was scared. I don't know.
I want her to be jumping up like that guy when Ron Simmons won the title in WCW.
Yeah.
And then that one guy on the front row jumps up and does the splits. I wanted to see that kind of thing.
Yeah, like I said, this one, I guess, was a good little match. LA Knight wins.
Got overshadowed. Yeah.
And
it's kind of a stepping stone for LA Knight, I guess, because he's got a lot more.
3 jars at best.
Yeah, that's what I'd think. I wouldn't want to go below that just because, I mean, it wasn't bad.
It didn't blow my skirt up, that's for sure.
Yeah.
How about this match did? Kevin
this is
Owens
really
versus
good.
Logan Paul versus Randy Orton. I liked the playfulness at the beginning between Orton and Kevin Owens before it all broke down. I think that Logan Paul is incredible. He took the beating early, got the brass knucks out. It wasn't illegal in a triple threat, so he didn't have to hide it. You knew there was going to be a spot with the prime bottle. But Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, Randy Orton struck first and tried to put the RKO on Kevin Owens, and then they started fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I like how they did that, because I think if I heard the quote right, Kevin said, "I know we can't both win, but we don't want to do this now."
yeah,
And they kind of agreed. And then Randy tried to sneak up on him and get the RKO. And then, well, you want to do this now? And they start hitting each other. I thought that was pretty good, especially after sharing the golf cart going down at the
right.
beginning and all that stuff.
I thought the golf cart was a nice touch after Logan showed up in that stretch truck with the cannon. Did anything come out of the cannon?
I don't know.
I didn't see anything on, but I was watching it on a very small window.
Yeah, I
So,
probably looked away at that point. I saw the golf cart part, but not that.
but it was a good match, and I'm not unhappy with the outcome of it. I really like that Logan Paul retained. I think he's a great performer.
Mm-hmm.
I think he does a lot for the United States champion, taking it places. I think it's a great drawing card, if that's the right term. The way he takes it around, he's real happy with it. Puts it all over social media.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, Logan Paul is just such a genius. Such a genius. I mean, as marketing things goes. So
Right.
really happy with this match. 4.5 jars for me,
Yeah, I'd probably go 4 on this one.
or 4 in a mouthful, as I like to say.
Yeah, I'll go 4 just because, I mean, I think all 3 of these guys really brought something to the table here. Randy Orton, obviously, a legend, and Kevin Owens is, he's main event material, and Logan Paul, who, just kind of surprised the whole industry by coming in and being as good as he was.
Oh yeah, but this is his third WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I mean, I think some people think that he's still new,
he's not
but
at
this
all.
is his third WrestleMania, and he was impressive in his first WrestleMania.
Yeah, it
I mean,
shouldn't
he
be
was
a
in there doing
surprise anymore.
He did the Three Amigos better than, like he did them like Eddie Guerrero, and he did them better than Dominic Mysterio, and everybody knows that Eddie's Dominic's daddy.
Right,
So
exactly.
they're saying something. I think that Mike Whitaker wants to know what's next for Logan. If I had to guess, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton may not be through with him. With Cody as the champion, of course, Damian Priest is the new champion on Raw.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe Ricochet, maybe Bronson Reed. I'd have to say possibly Ricochet, because I feel like they're trying to strap the Rocket to Ricochet. I mean, Ricochet and Logan have already had great matches.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be good if we saw Logan and Ricochet.
I'm just thinking off the top of my head who it's not going to be Theory or Waller, because they got the tag belts. Maybe Finn, Balor.
Well, that'd be good too.
It's just or who knows? Maybe after, well, Braun Breaker's still a tag champion, so you just never know. But it'll be big, because he doesn't. Andrew Hermes thinks it could be Dom, and Coach Keith reminds us that the draft is coming up. I was hoping in a post McMahon world they'd do away with the draft, but I guess not. So we'll see. Interesting things coming up. Io Sky versus Bayley. Really good match. Really solid, really good match.
Yeah, I wrote down that Bayley is good. She gets overshadowed by some bigger names, but she's good. She brings a lot to the table here. And EO, I think, maybe wasn't championship material there. It's good to see it on Bayley.
But she put it was a great match. I kind of felt like Bayley didn't wrestle that match like a face. You know, I don't think she was being I think her attitude, I mean, even when she won the belt, how she took the belt from the referee. Because I don't expect Bayley to still be America's sweetheart. I think she's going to get quite full of herself, quite defensive about being champion, and take every challenge personally. I think she's going to go. When I say going back to me and the bitch she knows how to be, that's a compliment. That's not disparaging her in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I think she's much better heeled than she is a face because she's natural. I mean, you kind of naturally don't like her. And I think she proved her point, and I think she's ready for the onslaught of challenges that are going to come after her.
Yeah, but kind of based on what you said there, she's really good when the crowd doesn't like her.
Right.
And it would be good to see that again.
She'll be a good dance partner for Jade Cargill.
Oh yeah.
You put Jade in there with her, she'll polish her up, make her look good. There's a lot of the women's division is deep. So, and I don't think Io Sky's just going to go away now that she's lost. So
no.
And then you got Kairi Sane, Asuka. Well, they're the tag champions, so they probably won't. And let's not forget Shayna Baszler. I mean, Shayna Baszler's out there doing good stuff.
Yeah, they have so much depth on their roster in the women's division in WWE. Way beyond what anybody else has.
And I don't think the Queen's too far from returning either.
It's a good division.
We kicked off the show with Seth freaking Rollins, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, against Drew McIntyre. I thought this was a great way to start the show. You saw CM Punk head to the ring early, so you knew they were going to kick the show off. I suspected that Punk's arm was not as bad as he was leading us to believe. I originally had predicted that Seth would retain, Drew would lose his mind, destroy Seth, Damian Priest would swoop in and get the money in the bank. I did not predict that CM Punk would take out Drew after Drew won the title and let Damian Priest come down and pick him off so Drew finally gets the championship in front of a large crowd with a clean win. It was a clean win. And but he had to go taunt CM Punk. And that was his undoing, because as soon as he turned his back on him, Punk took his legs out from under him, took that arm brace off, used it as a weapon on him, blew a kiss to the crowd. Here comes Damian Priest, hit him with the briefcase, threw him in the ring, put a move on him. New World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, this is one of those matches that we the other night doing predictions. We were all over the place on this. But if you combine a lot of our stuff, it kind of led to this. We're talking about CM Punk interfering and that kind of thing.
I could see Andrade challenging him. I could see Drew McIntyre is not going to give up. Drew McIntyre may get a shot at Clash at the Castle, and they may put it on him there. I don't know. In a perfect world, he loses it to Gunther Monday night.
Yeah. But what happens with Punk, though? With Punk and Drew moving forward? I don't know.
Oh, that's going to be a feud. I don't think it needs a belt in it right now. I think it's going to be a blood feud. I think it's going to be a blood feud. And you never know if Drew can get the title back. Like I said, they're doing the Clash at the Castle. If Drew got the title, that gives Punk something to chase. And I didn't get the impression that Seth Rollins was going away. I mean, he didn't stay in the back. He didn't stay in the back licking his wounds.
Right.
Andrew Hermes makes a good point that they don't need the title.
Right.
Heather Whitley said Drew kind of had it coming. Yeah. He Punk didn't get up and go after him until he went and got in Punk's face. But I thought it was a really good match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving it 5. I'm giving it all 5 jars. I had no problem with how that match went down. It gave me everything I needed.
I think I'll give this one 4. I mean, it was a really good match. I like both these guys. You know, I've commented before about previous WrestleMania main events with Drew being lesser. But, you know, I still think he's good. I like the match. I like the extra stuff at the end.
Yeah.
I think it's obviously they love giving themselves plenty of options moving forward, making us guess, and they've done that.
Yeah, they
They know
have.
how to do it.
But this is what we came to talk about. Your tribal chief under bloodline rules, the WWE undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns, puts it on the line against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, bound and determined to finish his story. And finish his story he did. I thought this match, you know, for bloodline rules, it surprised me. I honestly thought that The Rock would probably have been the referee. So when I heard Charles Robinson was the referee, and I always love seeing Charles referee, that he was going to be in there. I thought, this is good. You got the feeling that for other than a kendo stick, it really wasn't a hardcore match. And then they went outside for a little bit.
Yeah, I was wondering, you know, before Jimmy showed up, it went a long time with no interference. And then obviously it kept getting added on. But, you know, really early there was a spot, and you said you didn't hear the audio very well. There was a quote that I wrote down. I think that Roman had Cody on the ropes, and he said, "I'm going to send you to Hollywood with the rest of them. This is my company, you little bitch."
I
I
heard
thought
that.
that was pretty
I
awesome.
did hear that. I heard little bitch. But I thought the match was good. It had a lot of good back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that big moves, a lot of false finishes. I think Cody didn't look. I mean, Roman. They both men looked strong. It was when you think to where Cody was just 10 years ago. I mean, you would have never thought that you would have seen Cody Mustache in this position. I like how Michael Cole touched on that he was disgruntled and left, went and lived out his own story, and came back. And when you think about it, this is 3 WrestleManias that he's been trying to finish his story. It doesn't feel like, I mean, you know, it was last year, but you kind of forget that you thought he was going to get it the year before. So I don't know.
Yeah, and the bloodline's just been going and going and going. Several opportunities for that to end. And it was big.
1,328 days. He's been the champion forever.
Yeah.
Forever. And you know, it was pointed out to me because I bitch. I'm old school. You got to defend the title every 30 days.
Right.
That's all I ask. You don't even have to defend it against anybody. Show up, beat an enhancement guy just to piss me off worse. I'm only here to fill my 30 days so I don't get stripped.
Yeah, beat a multi
Beat an
in a
enhancement
TV
guy,
match.
and then you're gone again. But he did average a title defense every 43 days.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
so that's not too terrible.
Yeah, that
month and a half.
That and $7.50 will buy you a cup of coffee. So,
Yeah, I'm glad this one took a while because, at one point before this match, it's like, man, this is going by quick.
yeah,
They're saving a lot of time for this next match.
and then you knew it was going to happen. Cody's doing the crossroads, super kick by the Young Buck. I mean, the Usos, the WWE's version of the Young Bucks have become the Usos with that super kick. I mean, it don't work
Yeah.
on the other channel. It don't. I mean, they got to do 45 of them to be effective in tennis shoes on the other channel. So anyway, main event, Jay comes out and they meet on the ramp, and then they do a stage dive, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, but their participation kind of seemed to be they're there, they meet up with each other, do a little something, and then they're gone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they sold falling off stage.
Yeah.
So then Cody's doing it again. And there's Solo with the thumb to the throat. So Solo, is helping out, and here comes John Cena, which kind of makes sense because that's who Solo destroyed Cena. Made Cena question whether or not he ever wanted to do this again.
Mm-hmm.
Cena runs down to try to neutralize Solo. Here comes The Rock. And The Rock made pretty much short work of Cena. And then Seth, here comes the Shield. And everybody's looking.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a swerve because nobody think it was going to be Seth. They thought it was going to be Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, because I've been seeing those rumors. I didn't believe them. But when I saw the Shield show up on the side, I was like, what is this?
They leaned into that, and they had Seth run down there in the flak jacket.
Yeah.
But Roman took him out before he could be effective.
Yeah, like immediately. And I was like, this was just a nothing. But then he ended up hitting him in the back with a chair.
Right. And that was fun. But that was just like, hey, we're going to screw with everybody and make them think Ambrose is here.
Right.
So then, with The Rock doing what The Rock does, you're expecting the glass to break and Stone Cold to come down. But instead, you got the gong, lights come on, Undertaker's behind him. Undertaker gives him the choke slam, lights go out, the Undertaker and Rock are gone. Now we're back on a level playing field. And then Cody finishes the story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it needed all that gaga in it, but with Bloodline rules, you had to do something.
Right.
You got some cameos in with cameos, and if they didn't overdo it last night, so yeah, it might have been overbooked, but it was fun.
I think for a long time, the Bloodline rules have been just an over exaggeration of an advantage. And it's like, how are you possibly going to end up beating this? And I think that they decided this was what they were going to show that it took to beat it. And it was it overdone? Probably a little bit, but I think maybe that's a sign of some kind of finalization with the Bloodline. So the question now is, what happens Monday and moving forward? What do we see with them?
I got the feeling that we're fixing to see The Rock as a modern day crooked authority figure. I think
so. A new Mr. McMahon, but
new, better, and improved.
Yeah,
more up to date. He's going to go film a movie, but there's no reason he can't do vignettes that are put on like announcements.
Right.
He can be there and just trying to make Cody Rhodes' life a living hell for what he's done.
Yeah, and when he was coming down to the ring, he was showing that he was severely pissed off.
Yes.
Like, John Cena, why are you getting involved? We got this handled. You need to stay out of it.
That's right. I'm The Rock. I'm on the board of TKO. I can wear Fandango pants and get by with it.
or a fanny pack.
What is that dance? The flamenco, or
You talk. I don't know.
I mean,
Don't
he
ask
looked
me
like
about dances.
he's coming down there in bell bottoms. Looks like he came off of Solid Gold episode from 1978. But he's The Rock, and he can do that. And I think between now and SummerSlam, we're in for a tremendous amount of wrestling. I mean, they're going to Saudi Arabia again.
Yeah,
They're going to Germany. They're going to
France.
England. They're
Didn't they advertise France coming up?
Yeah, they're going to France. I'm so excited to be a wrestling fan.
Oh
It's
yeah.
been so long since I could just enjoy wrestling. Just truly, truly enjoy it. And I'm really enjoying what's going on right now.
Do we feel like there's going to be any changes in the belts? I mean, does anything?
I would be shocked Monday night if Cody doesn't come out with that belt, that old WWF belt that Dusty won and had taken away from him in the garden. Because Cody owns that belt.
Okay.
Cody owns that belt. Dan Lambert had it and gave it to Cody as a gift.
Wow, that's cool.
So Cody has it, and he mentioned that there was only 2 items that he got out of his bus. And if wrestling fans knew what they were, they'd pop for it. So, I mean, there's people that want Cody to bring back the Winged Eagle. I don't think it's impossible to have. I mean, when he was the Intercontinental Champion, he brought back the old Reggie IC design. They brought it back a little bit different, and Reggie's company said, y'all can't do that. So that's when they went back to the Reggie
Right.
style for a while. That'll be fun because I think he'll bring back classic designs, and the way they're wanting to sell wrestling belts right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they've leaned in to satisfying us belt nerds.
Well, I guess with the draft coming up, they've got opportunities for, if they're itching to change stuff, this is probably the opportunity to do it. WrestleMania just happened. Huge storyline shift here.
I bet you,
I don't know.
I would be willing to bet you a Coca-Cola that they are going to shift all the major stars to Raw.
To move into the Netflix era.
Well,
I know it won't be quite yet. But.
Well, yeah, and I think that I think Fox is going to be the lame duck TV show. I think SmackDown. I get the impression that the Fox is hard to work with.
Okay.
I mean, how many segments do you get your screen blacked out on, your sound turned off? I don't know if they're messing with them because they're leaving. It's just SmackDown's been harder to watch. And you have to go to social media and hope those clips get put back up so you can see what you missed. Because the standards and practices, the censors are really, really resisting what WWE is trying to do. And I think the USA Network will be more accommodating because the USA Network's getting SmackDown. So they don't have an axe to grind with WWE leaving. The flagship show is going to go to Netflix, but they're going to get SmackDown. And so I would think that the draft is going to really going to load up Monday Night Raw.
So,
and honestly, can you tell there's a draft anyway?
Well, they pretty quickly shift things after the draft sometimes.
I mean,
they'll do the draft and then they'll change it.
Cody's on every show pretty much all the time.
The WWE transfer portal.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah, Andrew's got a good point about seeing Bruce come down and Triple H. We were talking about the celebration earlier, Andrew. I don't know if you were on when Dave was talking about that, but yeah, for him to call out Bruce and Triple H to come down, that was pretty cool.
Rangers fan 123 said he did it.
He
Rangers
did. It took a
fan
lot
one,
of
two,
help.
three. I need Rangers fan 123 to explain this to me. They got a Boston Bruins hockey puck in the hand, and Rangers fan 123. Is that Texas Rangers baseball fan? Because I can't imagine a New York Rangers hockey fan having a Boston Bruins hockey puck in their profile picture. So I'm just curious, and I want to thank Rangers fan for joining us tonight. Drew Reviews is back with us. Andrew Hermes is in the chat. Coach Keith Morrison, Jared Wise, Heather Whitley, Mike Gallagher, Mike Whitaker. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but I thank y'all for staying up late with us, talking wrestling with the Ram Network. The Ram Network is our Patreon. We are going to put bonus content galore on the Ram Network. It will not affect our normal podcast. You'll still get Talking Wrestling with Palm Water Dave. pwdpod.com will take you to my YouTube, our YouTube. The TNA Top 10 podcast dropping weekly. You can find them on YouTube as well. Filter Free Popcast, same deal. They're wherever you steal your podcast, they're on YouTube. They're on, I believe they're still on the Premier Streaming Network as well. We just got together to do bonus content. We're going to mix them out like me and Terry. We're mixing the shows tonight. Me and Andrew did it earlier today.
Yep.
Had Timmy C with us. You're going to get plenty of bonus content over at theramnetwork.com. And we're looking forward to trying to put something out there that y'all want to see. And we want to thank y'all for staying up late with us, celebrating wrestling with us. Super excited to see. Cody said Friday night that when a story finishes, another better story begins. And when wrestling is done right, there's nothing better. I am super pumped up. I love Cody Rhodes. I mean, if you came to me and said, what should we do with Cody Rhodes? You turn him heel. He's Highlander from The Boys. Let's
Yeah, I
do
was
it.
gonna say we're gonna shift from going so long with a heel champion to having a face champion now. And what's that gonna be like for a while? If it's that way for a while.
I don't think it's going to be a while, honestly.
Do you think this was it needed to happen and it's not gonna be a big reign?
I don't think it'll be long.
Okay.
We'll see how the fans act.
Yeah. I kind of like the heel champion more. I mean,
Heel champions are. I said Highlander, didn't I?
you
Homelander.
did. I didn't get that. We're both trying to stay up. Everybody
Hey,
else
I'm an
went to
elderly.
bed.
It's past my bedtime. Yeah. Well, if he's Highlander, you can't kill him. And let's just say that if Gunther was to defeat Cody Rhodes pretty soon, it would not hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch him chase. But I love Cody. I understand why he's not going to be a heel, but his bond he has with the kids is incredible. And when you think about where he's been and now where he's at, I think that it's a great story. It just goes to show you that just because you're in a certain spot in professional wrestling today doesn't mean you can't be in the top spot 10 years from now.
Right.
It can happen. Look what they did with Batista.
Yeah, like how you mentioned Cody Stash earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Come
you
a
would have
long
never
way
thought.
from that.
I mean,
Tattoo neck Cody.
and truthfully, when he was with Ted DiBiase Jr., you thought Ted DiBiase Jr. was going to be the bigger star. I mean, he quit being Dusty's son and became Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
I mean, he went from if he'd have got this 10 years ago, it would have been on his daddy's name.
But he needed to leave and come back. I mean,
Yes.
that really did it because he became Cody Rhodes when he left instead of being, hey, look, Dusty's other son is in the WWE.
I think that I think what he did is he ended up getting their respect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wasn't able to show them why they were there while he was there, so he showed them when he wasn't there.
Right.
And that's what I mean. You're seeing that, and maybe Mercedes Monet's doing that right now. She left and said, "I can do this at Japan," and now I'm at AEW, and we'll see what she does. Maybe
He was
she's
a big
trying to
part of
prove.
AEW.
Maybe she's trying to prove that this is my worth. You didn't think I had that worth. Let me show you that I had that worth. Because sometimes, I mean, I'm not going to say they're a perfect promotion because sometimes they feature people that you can't figure out why, and it'll fizzle. And they've been doing it for years. I mean, I'm rambling.
But Sasha, I mean, you mentioned Mercedes Moné. Sasha was a huge part of the women's division. Very
Oh yeah, without a
capable,
doubt,
a
without a
star.
doubt, she was a star. I mean, her and Charlotte and Becky and Bayley, they were a perfect storm of young women's talent.
Right.
And at a time when Stephanie McMahon had the ability to say, "Hey, we're gonna treat the women differently now,"
We're gonna have a whole pay-per-view.
and we had a women's
Nothing
revolution.
but them. Yeah.
And you could argue every show that the women's matches are the best on the card.
Definitely.
Heather Whitley says tonight's show may have me tuning in tomorrow night. It will definitely have me tuning in tomorrow night. Mitch Blaylock said today was such an epic day. And I think that it's the right decision because we all knew it was going to happen, and there's more
Yeah.
people happy about it than there are upset.
Yeah, I don't think the upset is the result as much as the way we got there. I can see that. I just think that was their answer to how do you defeat the bloodline, and they felt it was going to take that much.
All right. Overall, well, this match I gave it 4 jars. Reason
Okay.
I gave it 4 jars is there was an excessive amount of Gaga in it.
Hmm.
I don't think we needed all the superstar cameos that we got in it. Maybe they did that to give Roman and Cody a breather so they could finish strong. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna disparage them for sure. I mean, they put their working boots on, they came in, they performed at a high level, and it was really exciting. And overall, both nights of WrestleMania, from top to bottom of the show, I think last night was a stronger show. I thought every match, the flow of the show, every match, I think that night 1 may have been put together better. I think night 2 had bigger moments. We got a new world champion, got a new women's champion, got a new universal champion. We had more celebrity. We had the celebrity run-ins.
I see what you're saying. I still struggle a little bit because this was a known not 1 leads to not 2 situation.
How about
Some
this?
years they stand alone.
How about this? Last night's show was on the same level as a NXT Takeover Brooklyn from a few years ago. The best show of the weekend for a wrestling fan. That was your pure pro wrestling show. This was your more sports entertainment oriented.
Well, that's true.
WrestleMania spectacle night. I mean, they even got the Hall of Famers in tonight. So I think you still got 2 nights, and you got your more wrestling based show on night 1, and your more sports entertainment superstar Gaga show on night 2. But overall, 4 jars and a mouthful for me. 4.5 jars. I was thoroughly entertained this weekend. Hats off to WWE, and I hope they continue to keep killing it. I really, really do. It was good to see Bruce on camera too.
It was.
I miss Bruce Pritchard. It's good to see him. He looks healthy. It looks like he's taking good care of himself, and it's just always great to see Bruce on camera. That's about the last name I thought I was going to hear Cody Rhodes say.
Right. Yeah. Well,
To
and then
have
when
him
he
come out.
said that another one's kicking and screaming, not wanting to come out,
I
I was
knew who
like, you
that
talking
was.
about a kid?
I'm just wondering where Pharaoh was. Can't believe they didn't bring Pharaoh out. I think it's because when they do bring Pharaoh out, that it's because Pharaoh thinks that everybody's there to see him.
Okay.
I think Cody told me that one time. He said that he goes, Pharaoh likes being here because he thinks everybody came to see him. I think he told me that at the first Starcast in 2018 before All In. But let's put a bow on it, Terry. What would you like? What would you like to? What do you need to see on Raw tomorrow night?
You know, it's funny. I'm less interested to see Cody after winning the title than I am to see Roman and hear Paul talk after losing the title.
You think we'll get that on Raw, or do you think we'll have to wait for SmackDown for that?
I don't know whether we get it on Raw or SmackDown. That's where my mind is. What's happening next there? Because I'm kind of with you about Cody. It's like the big thing was the build up. I don't know that the reign is going to be the thing.
I think we're going to get a big. I think we're going to get a big Sami Zayn segment tomorrow night. I think we're going to get a big Sami Zayn segment. I think that there's going to be a challenger emerge tomorrow night to piss on his parade.
Yeah.
I think the Judgment Day are going to take their victory lap. I mean, Mommy retained.
Mm-hmm.
Damian Priest cashed in. They may address losing the tag titles. I think that they've got a built-in excuse on the tag titles because it was a ladder match.
Right.
The deck was stacked against them. We might see Finn Balor and JD McCullough challenge Truth and Miz tomorrow night. Maybe. Did anybody pay attention to who's the Raw tag champs and who's the SmackDown tag champs?
I think the SmackDown titles were first, then
Okay,
the
then
Raw titles.
that makes sense that you'd have Theory and Waller on SmackDown. I think I think we're going to get some movement on the tag titles tomorrow night. I can't imagine that Cody won't be in hour 3. Or maybe they'll save him for SmackDown because he's the Universal Champion.
So does somebody lead off the show with one of these things?
Oh, Sammy.
Okay.
Yeah, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, and now that I've had a minute for it to kick around in my mind, maybe Gunther comes out. But maybe Gunther comes out and shakes his hand. Because Gunther told him, they were all down on him. Maybe Gunther comes out, shakes his hand. Because I think the crowd wants to like Gunther.
Right.
And Gunther may have his sights on Damian Priest.
That'd be good. I'd like to see that.
I definitely would like to see that. If you've been on any of these shows that we've done this weekend, I have said that I truly felt like Gunther needed to take the belt off of Roman, hold the Intercontinental title in one hand, Universal title in the other.
They just don't seem to do
the
that.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
But Cody needed to finish the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't seem to want the Intercontinental or U.S. or whatever champion to win one of the bigger belts and then give up the other one.
Billy Mayer wants to know what happens to Roman Reigns now. Billy, I think that Roman's going to go away. I don't think we're going to see Roman on SmackDown. I think Paul Heyman's going to address it. I think the Tribal Chief is going to go away for a bit. And when he shows back up, he's going to make a big splash. I would be shocked if he appears Friday night.
But then The Rock is probably going to take the time that Roman has had on the shows.
Yeah, and Roman and The Rock did pin Cody Rhodes this weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, I think The Rock's going to. I think even though Cody's the Universal Champion, I think Rock is going to really press the "I'm the people's champion" button.
See, I don't know what kind of availability The Rock has because he's always kind of going away and come back. But what about the thought of The Rock challenging Cody, getting the title, and then Roman coming back and challenging him?
That could be it. That could be it. I mean, they say that The Rock's going away to do a movie.
Yeah.
VG's in the chat, and he wants to know: do we think Roman Reigns will retire? I don't think he's retiring. He's still young. He's
Yeah.
38 years old. He's 38 years old. I think there's still more for him to do, and he already works a limited schedule, so I think he's going to take some time off. And like I said, he's going to come back. He's going to come back with a vengeance. Andrew Hermy says he's going to come back, goes away, and comes back with a vengeance. Yes, it was. Allison Faye just popped in to say hi and that it was amazing. She was in the building for it. I can't wait to maybe Tuesday night she can pop on Talking Wrestling and tell us what the feel was in the stadium.
We're going to dig into that this week. We got so much stuff happened this weekend with WrestleMania, with NCAA, basketball. You may see 2 shows come out from us. We don't know exactly the details yet, but we're definitely
That's the beauty of the
bring her
Ram
on.
Network. You can do as much as you want to.
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting to see what Allison has to say and see if that baby was crying the whole time that she was sitting next to both nights. Nights sitting next to the same baby.
Yeah. Well, can we have a top 10 list this week of the top 10 the top 10 things we'd rather have than to listen to a Bret Hart interview, or maybe the top 10 hearts. Attack is 3.
We'll have to throw it together if we're going to have it this week. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, we've done it before.
So, what day are y'all recording live or y'all taping?
We always tape, at least for now.
So what day this week
normally? Well, we
be?
haven't really decided it. We think we're probably going to record Tuesday. We normally record Sunday night, but obviously that wasn't happening. So
yes,
it's going to be a little delayed this week. Going to be a lot of good stuff to talk about, though.
Well, Terry is the T in the TNA top 10.
I tried to put it in my name, but it ended up covering up most of the screen here.
So there you go. I'm Palm Water Dave, Talking Wrestling with Palm Water Dave. We'll be live Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll talk more about WrestleMania. Our special guest will be Kyle Davis, who was an independent manager and announcer in Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma for a while. He did it for about 20 years, and we're going to have him on just to get the perspective of someone that's been in the wrestling business and has made the transition back just being a fan that's no longer associated with the business. So that'll be a fun show. We'll have maybe we can get Allison to come on and tell us about what the feel was in the stadium. The Filter Free Popcast is doing their thing at some point this week. And again, I'm looking up. There's 138 people watching. We are blessed.
Awesome.
We are so blessed that y'all would take a minute to tune in to see what we were doing, because we know, especially on WrestleMania weekend, that you have choices, and that y'all would drop in and listen to what we think. It means the world to us. It doesn't go unnoticed, and it definitely doesn't go unappreciated. So I'm rambling. It's way past this old man's bedtime. Terry, thank you for doing this with me.
You're welcome.
I'm glad
I did. You'd been here by yourself talking with you.
Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. That's why we were the show of the hour, the show with the power. Too sweet to be sour. What you see is what you get, and what you didn't see was better yet. But you'll see them soon on the Ram Network, exclusively on Patreon. And we are out of here.